Hello, kit heads. We are talking kit, the home of the greatest football kit content in the world. I am Double A, as always. And yeah, we're back for another, I imagine is going to be an amazing episode of Desert Island Kits. If you don't know about Desert Island Kits yet, it's our brand new, this is the 5th episode series where we sit down with football collectors from all over the world and we just chat about 5 of their shirts in their collection. It's like a top 5, but we kind of dress it up, add a bit of a spin to it, and just ask them which 5 from their own collection they would like to take to a desert island with them. And at the end, we ask the Sophie's choice question of which one you would keep if you had to get rid of the other 4. It's always a tricky one when it comes down to that. We're back for another episode. I'm excited because it's someone I love to talk kits with. I do it on a regular basis, and it is the man, the myth, the legend. It's Jay from Retro Football Kits. Hi, pal. You okay?
Yes, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you, man?
I'm well, mate. I'm really, really well. I thought I'd sport my latest purchase from Retro Football Kits.
Yeah, looking sharp.
One of my Grail shirts. It's a large, but it feels a lot bigger. I'm not going to lie. The 90's really lied about the sizes. That's what I'm going to say. So at least I've got some room to grow in it. Like my mum would have bought it for me when I was 12. You got room to grow in it.
Yeah, mate. With the 90's, it's like no matter what the size said, it was XL. No matter what.
It doesn't matter. Small, XL.
Yeah.
Before we get into this week's episode, do be sure, if you haven't already, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to Talking Kit. It is free, and you get all this great content for nothing. And smash, the bell notification if you want to be alerted every time we drop some new content. It's coming thick and fast at the moment, so there's a lot to be around for. Very excited about how this year is hopefully going to go for the channel. So yeah, be a part of it. Be a kit head. That's what we call our community. We're all kit heads here. So yeah, be sure to smash that like, smash the subscribe, smash the bell notification. So Jay, we're into a new year now. How was 2022 for you in terms of kit collecting and just kits in general? What was your overall thoughts of 2022 really?
You know what? There was some good kits. I think we were blessed with a good World Cup. I think we had a really good World Cup for the kits. I mean, I've got 2 on show there.
Yeah, I've got 1.
yeah, we've got the opposite on your end. And kit-wise, there was a lot of good ones. I think kits are coming full circle now. I think, we had some rubbish years in the early 2000s and 2010s. We had some dire times, but it's coming full circle now. It's going back to the design. It's going back to the nature that we love kits. And I think this is that second rebirth of kits right now, and we're in it, and our football kits are going great. As for my collection, it's like I said, got those 2 from the World Cup. I got a few nice other ones, not too many though, not as many as I would have liked, but I think working with Retro, I still get to be around great kits, so I'm kind of like okay with not buying as many, just still seeing them. But yeah, definitely want to get some more this year.
Absolutely. We'll get to your body count in a minute, but for 2023, what is it you're kind of hoping? Like you say, you're around kits all the time. You're seeing all these old designs come in, obviously newer ones as well. So for you, 2023, what is it you're wanting to see? Or is it a team, or is anything that's you're looking forward to most, maybe bringing out?
I'm really excited for what Roma are going to do. I'm wearing a Roma kit. I love Roma. I think New Balance they've been okay, but they've not been amazing. But we're with Adidas now, and Adidas is a sponsor that I absolutely love. There's some leaks already coming out, and they look amazing. And I think Roma could be some of the best kits this year. So I reckon Roma is the big one to watch for me.
Yeah, so going back to you then, and your body count. So what's your shirt situation looking like at the moment? What's your magic number?
I haven't got a specific number. I don't know to the number, but I know I've went from about 35 to just over 40 now.
Okay.
After this last year of collecting. So like I said, not too many. Nowhere near enough. But a nice 4, and I love each one of them. About 42, 43, I reckon I'm at now.
No, that's a decent number, mate. And I think, it makes each one more special because you're not just, like I always use the word scattergun approaching and just buying anything you like. It seems like you've purposely chosen to buy that shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're all pretty special to you in that way.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'll get onto it in a little bit in the video, but a reason why I started kit collecting was something to do with kind of traveling and stuff. And so like I have stories from most of my kits, not all of them obviously, but that's what it does start making them have stories of themselves a bit more special. Like I did a kit collection video like at the start of last year, I think, and like I was able to pull nice story from here and there and everywhere just to like back up the shirt. So yeah, I definitely like it this way.
I agree. So right, we'll get into the main part of the show. What a nice little introduction. But before we get into your 5, do you have any honourable mentions from your collection that may just have missed out, one or two that you could tell us about?
I mean, this one I'm wearing, I think this, you know, like I said, love Roma kits. This is the best Roma kit I own. I'd love to get some more 90s Roma, like early 90s, maybe even Adidas, like I mentioned. But I think this one, Repetto, just, whoa, beautiful, this kit. Just simple, clean, love it. I've got one down here. I'm a Chelsea fan. I know you know that, but the audience might not, so I'm sorry. So I've got this beautiful kit here. This is one of my favorite Chelsea kits. Just lovely 90s aesthetic to that one. And then honestly, the ones I've got behind me, even they're a bit more modern. I love all of them. I think Adidas have been smashing it recently. The Bob Marley ones, the World Cup ones, they're all in the collection and they're all beautiful. And I thought that's why I put them on display behind me.
5 great shirts. They could have been your 5. It easily could have been your 5. Yeah. Let's get into your 5 shirts. You're stranded on a desert island, or you're about to be stranded on a desert island. You're in your boat. You've got to tip some stuff over the edge. So there goes your Mac. There goes your phone. You can only pick 5 shirts. So let's start with number 5 on your list. Where are we going and what shirt is it?
This shirt right here. We're going number 5. It's 2012 Italy. Now, this shirt for me, it's got more meaning than the shirt, like I've already mentioned. I think the thing that started me loving football shirts was back when I traveled to Italy. I did an exchange trip in 2016 and I fell in love with the country, but I also thought I gotta do some sort of memorabilia. I didn't want a shitty little magnet. I didn't want a little Colosseum. I wanted something a bit better than that. So I went into a shop and I saw this bad boy and I was like, obviously already loving football. I was like, that's a really good idea. Let's get a football shirt. So I thought from then on, I'm going to get a football shirt from every country I go to. Hasn't panned out that way. Football shirts are expensive, as you all know. This started the love. This is the OG. This is the one. It's beautiful Italy kit, Italian flag in the collar, nice little kind of button-up collar, really kind of cool, funky geometric patterns going on the base there. It's a pretty standard kit, but with that added meaning of being my first, you know, I popped my cherry to this kit. I love it so much. This started this new obsession that I have that now has led me to retro football kits.
Do you know what? Then for a second, I felt like I was in one of your videos. The way you were describing it, I was like, I was waiting for the intro music to kick in. I was like, oh mate, an amazing shirt and one that was worn for a really good Italy team. If it wasn't for that Spain team being so good as they were, you know, they potentially could have won the Euros in that tournament. And Balotelli was showing he was a world-class striker. And I love little things like that. You go somewhere and you get something you're going to keep forever. And then when it sparks a passion in you to go on and do something and make it your job and career, I mean, mate, you got to look at that shirt every time and think, wow, what have you started? You know,
I know this is the one. That's why I had to add it. I think whenever I'll do a list like this has to be the first one on there. It's not the best looking kit of all time. It's also got it's a bit aged now. This isn't as white as it should be, but it started the love, and it has to be on every list, mate. It really does.
Brilliant. Oh, what a kickoff then. So we're going from Italy, obviously the shirt that sparked this whole love of football shirts or collecting football shirts, essentially. So what's your next shirt number 4 on your Desert Island kits?
This is the 2012 Chelsea shirt. Like I've already said, I'm a Chelsea fan. This has to be one of the most important nights in our club's history. One of the best nights for me as a fan watching football. Just full stop. This was unbelievable this night. I think at Bayern Munich, in their ground against Bayern Munich, last minute goal, Didier Drogba, the king of kings, scoring the penalty with his last kick that season. Honestly, I get emotional thinking about it. And for ages, I've wanted the kit to remind me of that, and I hadn't had it for a while. You know, this is a late entry into my Chelsea collection. I've got a fair few Chelsea shirts, as you do. I've been waiting for this one, and this one actually came in last year, and instantly, in my size, instantly had to buy it. I think it's beautiful. Obviously, other than the historic meaning of this kit, it's a beautiful kit on its own. It's quite unique with the Adidas stripes.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of the white with the blue in the inside. I like that. I love the blue on blue stripes in the base of it. It's kind of got a nice shiny texture to it as well. Again, another Adidas kit that I'm talking about. I do love Adidas a lot. And it's forever going to be famous for Chelsea, for those players, the players that I love, Drogba, Terry, Lampard. And it's all put into this one kit.
Yeah, it is a nice shirt. Obviously, I'm not a Chelsea fan by any stretch, but I think, you know, you talk about wanting to go back to Adidas, and I'm the opposite with you. United, I want them to go back to Nike kind of thing. Adidas did really sort Chelsea out during that period. They had just some really nice shirts. I think the away shirt from that season, it's the black one, isn't it? I think that even that is a really nice shirt. And I think when you think back to to that night in Munich and stuff, was it such like the demons of 2008 had been sort of banished because it's such a redemption arc? Obviously, losing that game on penalties to then go and do it, win it in penalties years later. Was it such like a release of tension as well as euphoria for winning the Champions League?
Yeah, for sure. It absolutely all plays into the narrative. I think the whole Champions League story for Chelsea, like in that time period, was such. It could be a documentary, couldn't it? You can't write this stuff sometimes. Losing against United, a team that we've been battling against in the league for the prior, 5 to 10 years or whatever, fair few years before that, just to lose out to them, by a John Terry penalty kick. It's funny now, but man, it weren't funny back then.
It was funny.
And yeah, I can imagine. And then to then go through, again and have to do it again and have to do it again a few seasons later, because I was quite young in 2012. I can't remember how old I was, but like maybe 13, 14. I remember like my dad, he took me to the pub to watch most of the games, like the quarterfinal and the semi-final, but, obviously sipping on Cokes, not beers. For the final, he was like, I can't take him out, because if they lose, I don't know what I'm going to do as a parent. So we stayed at home and I was watching on the telly, and it's like extra time. It goes to pens. I'm on the floor. My dad's not even a Chelsea fan. He doesn't really like football, but he's there watching it with me. And I'm like almost in tears watching this penalty shootout. My dad's behind me. He's like, I've got no clue what I'm going to do here. if they lose this, how am I supposed to like comfort this kid?
Yeah.
But the second Drogba puts that pen away, we're both screaming. We're both jumping around. It's one of the best feelings I've ever had as a football fan.
Great second pick. Let's get into your third shirt on your list.
Just behind me, another Italy one. I feel bad for putting in two of the same in, but hey ho. I think this is one of the only kits that I've put in on looks, really, kind of. Yeah. I feel like most of them, they've got some nice treasured meanings behind them, even if they're tenuous. But this one, this is just looks. This is the sexiest shirt I think I've ever laid my eyes off, and that's the word that you have to use. You have to use the word sexy or bougie. Bougie works. It's one of my favorite words to use. It's greeny, but it's luxurious dark green. It's got golden elements. It's inspired by the Renaissance, which just makes sense. Italy, Renaissance. And I made this very tenuous link in my Italy video where I was like, the squad went through their own renaissance of young players coming through, and that meant they won the Euros, and they were doing it in the Renaissance kits. Yeah, it's tenuous, but there it is. It's got little accents as well, like the little Italy there. Yeah. Nice bits of navy to round it off, and yeah, the kind of floral pattern in the bottom. This kit on looks alone has to make most lists.
Oh, mate, it's absolutely stunning. That pattern just reminds me of a peacock. That's the first thing I think when I see it.
Yeah,
like the feathers of a peacock. The best bit for me is the gold badge. I think the gold crest, it just looks absolutely stunning, and it is a work of art. So that was your third pick. Number 2 on your list. Which shirt is it? Let's have a look.
Another new addition to my collection. So I said I was a Chelsea fan. I'm lying. I'm a Hertha Berlin fan at heart, really.
A true club.
Die hard Hertha Berlin fan. Before I talk about the show, when the lockdown came around, we all know it was a rubbish time for everyone. Yeah. And then when football came back, it was a treasured moment that we could all love and look forward to. And the first league back was the Bundesliga, wasn't it? So at the time, me and my mate, we used to do football content. So we were like, we need to do something just to get our minds off the lockdown and just have a bit of fun. Let's do the football content again. Let's do Bundesliga content, but we have no clue about Bundesliga, and let's not even pretend like we do. So we picked our clubs, and I can't remember who Josh picked. I think he picked like Leipzig or something. Okay. It would be pretty shit if we both went for Bayern, innit? Let's face it. So I was like, in my head, I was like, I've been to Berlin. Let's pick a Berlin club, and that's about it. That's the baseline as it gets. And since then, die hard, Hertha till I die. I had another Hertha Berlin shirt, but then I won up to myself this year and got probably the single best Hertha Berlin shirt there is. Wow. I know maybe some people might say the one with the bear on, but this is probably the most me shirt there ever has been made. Obviously, as we all know by now, Adidas. It's got the 3 stripes in the collar. They've got them on the side. It's a stripy kit. Really old school sponsorship there. The badge is in this big, beautiful circle kind of sewed on. It's just got the shiny little Hertha flags as well. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on the camera, but 90s perfection mixed in with blue, mixed in with stripes, mixed in with my boyhood club Hertha. This shirt was a must buy for me the second I laid my eyes on it.
Let's get into your number 1 shirt then and find out for you which is the best one. Maybe in your collection, or
I think being a Chelsea fan, I kind of had to pick the best Chelsea shirt of all time to put on my, top 5 list. I think that makes just sense. And this, for me, I don't care what any other Chelsea fan says. You're wrong. This is the best Chelsea shirt of all time. It has every single detail. I love a bit of Chelsea with yellow. I think that's such a cool, wicked tradition. Something that didn't start right from the start. It started in like the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
I think we clashed with another club and had to pick out another colour or something like that. I love a bit of yellow in a Chelsea kit. I think, you know, just since I've grown up, it's always been there. I think some of the classier shirts have a little bit of yellow in. This shirt has that nice bit of yellow. The old Chelsea badge is something just so beautiful, isn't it? I think, you know, when you come to kits, like you said, talk about some of the retro ones, the 90s ones. This is unapologetically 90s. It's got the collar, it's got the shiny accents, big, bold, baggy sleeves, the bright colors. It's Umbro, and we all know Umbro was so good in the 90s, especially at this like 97, 98, 99. They were coming out with banger after banger after banger. You're wearing an Umbro one yourself right now.
I am, from the 90s, yeah.
So I just think this kit is the best Chelsea kit of all time. Being a Chelsea fan, it just has to be there. Again, I bought this kit while it was quite cheap. I bought this for 40 quid.
Wow.
And it's definitely not worth 40 quid now, I'll tell you that. So it's nice to hold on to, and it's actually so good. I've got it tattooed on me. This
look at it. I mean, that's dedication there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I just had to. When I got a Chelsea tattoo, there was only one kit the guy could wear, and it was this one.
I think everyone does it, but when you look at a shirt, you think of a player straight away. So, who's the first player you think of when you look at
the man? It's Zola. It has to be. I think it just has to be, mate. I think that whole 90s squad as well, and obviously we can't talk about this squad without talking about Vialli and the tragic news recently. Bless him. We had a lovely tribute for him the other day as well. I think you think of Vialli, I think you think of Zola, and I think that whole squad started what Chelsea is today. Do you know what I mean? Like this was before Roman, but it was a new turn. We brought foreign players in. It was one of the first clubs to really do that in England, like a lot of foreign players. And that's why I think you think of Zola straight away, one of the best foreign players that have ever touched the Premier League. And yeah, it was just, this is the start of Chelsea being what I know it as, you know, being the age I am. So I kind of like hold this in like a magical kind of realm for me because of that. And I think the player that epitomizes that is Zola, the magician. What a boy.
So if we had to pick one out of the five, you got to keep one of them. Which one are you plucking out the air?
Difficult is a difficult question. I didn't know this one was coming. For me, I think it has to be one of the 90s kits, right? Because they're thick and they'll keep you warm.
Yeah, that's true.
And both aesthetically as the most beautiful kits. I just think for me, if I'm gonna go out, if I'm gonna be a bit morbid with it, if I'm gonna have to go out on this desert island, leave this world, I think I need to tell the world who I am. And I am a Chelsea fan, and I think I need to be representing that. You know what I mean? It's a part of who I am. You know, I'm not really a Hertha Berlin fans. People, don't tell anyone. Not really.
Don't tell the Hertha fans, please.
Yeah, they'll be fuming. No, but I am a Chelsea fan, so I guess I got to go out, you know, with my heart.
I mean, I expected it, and it's a great choice. Absolutely, mate. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your top 5 shirts, but your shirts you would take to a desert island. It's been amazing to have this conversation with you. You know, we're all used to seeing you talk about your top 5s from different clubs, but it's nice to know your top 5 from your own personal collection. Really, really appreciate you spending some time with us, mate.
No, thank you so much, mate. I've really enjoyed it. Like you said, I don't get to talk about like some of my own kits. Sometimes I get to talk about other top 5s, like you said. So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved it, every part of it. Bringing up some good memories, of course, with some of these shirts as well. And I've just genuinely really enjoyed it.
Buzzing. We'll leave the link to the Retro Football Kits YouTube in the description below. Make sure you go and check Jay out. He's doing some amazing and inspiring stuff over on that channel, you know. But make sure you check him out because he's one of the best kit content creators in the game. I love him.
I appreciate that, mate. And you know what, guys? There's a fun little video on our channel that's a Manchester United top 5. But as you already know, I am not a Manchester United fan. But there's someone that is over here, and he made a special feature. So make sure you go check that video out if you haven't already.
So there we go. That is the end of this episode of Desert Island Kits. We'll be back very, very soon with another amazing person from the kit community coming in and sharing their 5 shirts that they would take to a sunny yet lonely desert island with them. Before we leave you, be sure smash a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. It's free, helps us, and you get all this great content. And we'll see you very, very soon for another Desert Island Kits and more great content coming to Talking Kit. As always, just make sure that you keep talking kit.